name is Annie, and I just spent the last 9 months of my life in a very narcissistic, abusive relationship. This beautiful, charming, stunning, funny man walked into my life who I had already known for a while and painted me this gorgeous picture of what my life could look like if I joined him. And I guess you just can't see it all the time. It's not always bad. And you wake up 9 months later and you're so isolated. You realize you haven't left the house. You haven't met with any friends. You don't have any friends. You haven't talked to your family in months. Your bank account's clean. And there's not much left of you but just a shriveled up shell. So I don't wish that on anyone. So this guy's name is Aaron. He is tall, dark, and handsome. He is foreign and gorgeous and funny, and he will make you believe you are the most perfect special thing and no one's ever amounted to you. So if you're on Hinge, Bumble, and you think you may have met him, due to reasons of just respect that I don't understand how I still have left, it's just who I am. If you think you've met him and you're unsure, please just privately message me and we can go from there.
It was me!
Tell a man you don't want something serious and watch him put in 1,000,000% effort. The thing about men, right, is they need their egos to be stroked. So if you're sitting there telling a man that you don't want anything serious, to them it is a challenge, it's a game, right? Because why would she not want me? I'm going to literally treat her the best she's ever been treated before, and then she's going to want me. And that's exactly what they do. I have been literally bought appliances, I've been taken to spas, I've been taken out, I've had clothes bought for me, you name it, I've had it. More effort from someone I don't want something serious with than someone that I actually do want something serious with. People want what they can't have, basically. So the next person you want to be serious with, just tell him that you just don't want something serious and watch him put in the maximum effort.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
So I have a question for all the hot single men out there. Where are you? No, seriously, where are you? Because you're not out at the weekends. You're not in some quaint little coffee shop reading a book, being all sexy and mysterious. You're not on Hinge or Bumble. You are certainly not on Tinder. So where are you? Where is your location? My phone has never been so dry. My phone is drier than the grits the UK government are not using to grit the roads and pavements this winter. That's how fucking dry my phone is. Like, do you all just group together and go live in some far off island in the middle of nowhere? It would make fucking sense by this point. I could not tell you the last time I met a guy who was really attractive, funny, had the personality of more than a fucking teaspoon. So where are you? Help a gal out this festive season. Drop your location. I can't be the only single gal feeling this way. There's not even options at this point, so please, do us a favor. Let us know where you are. Thanks, hon.
I'm avoiding you.
Okay, hear me out. I don't know if you'll agree with me, but I just was like thinking, you know those girls on TikTok that are like the literal definition of like hot, where they have like their makeup snatched, hair snatched, jawline snatched, maybe a little lip filler, but like nothing's wrong with that. I'm probably gonna get some, but you know what I mean? They have all the outfits and they like make these really seductive videos with whether they're like twirling their hair or batting their eyes or showing their outfit that shows a little too much skin. And don't come for me, okay? Because we all know who those girls are. We all know. I'm not judging them. That's what you want to do, do it. That ain't me, but that's your thing, do it. I think what's better than being a hot girl is being this, knowing you could be a hot girl. So you're a hot girl, you pull any guy you want to pull, they call you hot, you know you're hot, and like that's that. But what's better is being like a secret hot girl and having a man pursue you, not looking at you like you're a hot girl, and then bam, you get married and you're all of a sudden like a hot girl for him, you know? I just think that would be so much better. And like, I'm in my moment right now, but I could be a hot girl, okay? I could. Just let me have this.
No.
I have no one to do the ick challenge with me, so I'm just going to tell you icks that I got from men that I went on dates with this year. This is going to be very specific ones because this actually happened. So there was this guy that I was seeing that we went to this restaurant, and he asked someone that doesn't work in the restaurant for the menu. It was so embarrassing. And that same guy, the same day, we went to Italian restaurant, because obviously we ended up not going to that one because of how embarrassing that situation was. And he was learning Italian, and he ended up trying to order in Italian, and it took so long. That was so embarrassing. Men that sweat too much, and for this one I do feel sorry for them, I have to say, because it's not like you can control it, but men that don't know how to dress for the weather. It's like really hot and they're wearing a long sleeve top, or it's really cold and they have a t-shirt on. I don't know why that is such a ick, but I just don't like it.
You have the presumption that people care what you say. They don't.
What men don't get is that once you start fucking up so many times and I go back to you so many times, every time I go back, I love you a little less. You can think that you got me in a bag because I'm there physically and I keep coming back. But every time I go back, I kind of mentally drift off a little bit. Every time. So, for me, I try to process these emotions mentally before I leave physically. Because when I leave physically, I'm not coming back. It's over. It's done.
Well, bye.
Isn't it really ironic that men will say things like, well, we're not allowed to feel our feelings because we've been raised to be tough and to do this and that. Who taught you that? Think hard about it. It was the patriarchy, aka other men. It's not a valid excuse anymore when you're a grown adult. If my mom never taught me how to clean, I wouldn't say, I can't clean this mess. I never learned how. I would go learn how to clean. So if you feel like you're emotionally stunted due to the patriarchy, saying that you're not allowed to cry and do certain things that might be seen as a simp or whipped or a pussy, like, you can take yourself to therapy. You know that, right? Like, you don't really care that much about other men's judgment of you to the point where you're not getting help for yourself. For you to deflect and not take responsibility for these kinds of things is just another form of weaponized ignorance that you use to get away with stuff and to not take responsibility and to do the work. Women are not your emotional conduit, by the way.
Get back in the kitchen.
I personally do not condone his behaviour, and I think men who treat women like that are out of control. But I would like to emphasise how she described him. She describes him as the ultimate Chad, the dream hunk that is out of this world and who treated her like a princess. I can guarantee you, if he was an average looking guy who treated her like a princess, he would get nowhere with her. When these women make excuses and compromises for Chads, they put up with the most horrendous crap, and in the end, they end up getting destroyed. After this, she will either blame all men or end up with a beta box male and rely on him to pick up the pieces because she has now become an alpha widow.
She can't repair the damage.
If her strategy works so well, why is she still single? The reality is, when she tells simps she is not interested in them, they start to simp for her more. She seems to think that if she tells Chads that she is not interested, they will suddenly start simping for her. I can tell her this right now. As soon as she tells Chad and Tyrone she is not interested, they will either move on or try to smash her and then leave afterwards without committing to her. So in the end, nothing will change. She is just using this ridiculous logic to make herself feel better about the fact that she's single and she can't get Chad to commit to her, but she can get simps to buy her stuff.
Taking advantage of a simpleton.
I'm sure there are plenty of good-looking guys, but they are not interested in you. They've probably already found their fun buddies this winter, and you are left alone on the sidelines, hoping to find one as well. Maybe you'll meet a random Chad who will smash and pass you during the weekend, since you are so desperately looking for one.
She's that desperate.
She talks about being a hot girl, then she proceeds to mention all the fake things she can think of, like makeup and lip filler. Then she mentions she will probably get lip filler herself. Then she says being a hot girl is not so great, and she is better than a hot girl. And then she calls herself a secret hot girl. The delusion is off the scale.
You're deluded.
Imagine this woman believing she has the right to make a list of all the things that gave her the ick about men she has dated, when her lip filler is the biggest ick I have seen in my life.
Everything else was just filler.
I think it's pretty cool that she goes back. At least she's giving the relationship a chance to improve. Most women only give one chance and then move on to the next one, which doesn't give the relationship or person a chance, and ultimately increases her body count faster. If the guy keeps messing up though, then it's definitely a dead end, and she should leave.
Well, can't argue that.
These chicks want to blame patriarchy for everything. So who is really to blame for the reason why men can't explain how they feel and express their weaknesses? It's women. Time and time again, I have heard from men that when they were depressed, they would talk to women about their feelings, and what would these women do? They would leave them.
Same kind of thing happened to me.
Real men of genius.